our great students. How are you today? Our motto is, if you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way. Let's get started. Look at here, we have to reorder the words in order to make the correct sentence. So what do you think? We have important, very, is, and water. Yes, water is very important. Look at the next one. We have water, we, for, use, and drinking. What do you think? Yes, we use water for drinking. Great. And here we have live, we, water, can't, without. Yes, we can't live without water. Yes, great. And here we have should save water, we. Yes, we should save water. Great job. Yes, always turn the tap off. Yes, great. So as you can see, we are talking about water. Where can we find water? Rain, streams, snow, waterfalls, puddles, lakes, rivers. We have seas, oceans, so we can find water at our homes and in the nature. So our big question is, what is good about science? And we have this answer today: experiments are fun. What's the meaning of experiment? So experiment, it is a noun and it means a scientific test. So today we have an experiment to find out more about water. Let's learn more vocabs. We have the word heat. It is a verb and it means to become or to make something hot or warm. Heat. And the next one, melt, which is a verb, to change or make something change from a solid to a liquid by means of heat. And here we have measure, which is a verb, to find the size, weight, or quantity of something. To find the size, weight, or quantity of something. Measure. And here we have degree. It is a noun. A measurement of temperature. A measurement of temperature. And the next one is float, which is a verb, to move slowly through air or on water. To move slowly through air or on water. Float. And here we have boil, which is a verb, to reach a high temperature where rise to the surface. To reach a high temperature where rise to the surface. So now let's read more about this experiment in your class book, page 106. This is your class book, page 106. Look at here. This is our big question, which is what's good about science? And Celia answered this question. Experiments are fun. Look at number 2 here. We have Celia's science lesson. And here we have an experiment. Let's listen to it carefully in order to answer this question, which is what's the boiling point of water? Please listen carefully and follow the text, please.
Listening 139. Listen and read about Celia's science lesson. Celia's blog.
In our science lesson today, we did some experiments to find out more about water. We started with water at room temperature. That's around 20 degrees Celsius. We heated it in a glass beaker. At 100 degrees, water boils. We call that the boiling point. Next, we cooled some water in the fridge. Then we put it in the freezer to make ice. Water freezes at 0 degrees. Ice can turn back into liquid water. At just above 0 degrees, it starts to melt. And I found out that ice is made of water, but it floats on water. Finally, we mixed some salt into the water, and we did the experiments again. We measured the temperatures, and we noticed that they were different. Experiments are really interesting.
Okay, now can you answer the question? What is the boiling point of water? Is it 0 degrees? Yes, great. It is 100 degrees. So water boils at 100 degrees. And at what temperature does water freeze? Yes, great. At 0 degrees. Great. So experiments are really interesting. Now, let's go to number 3 here. Match the words and the pictures. Here we have the words and here we have the pictures. We have to match them. Look at the word here. Heat, cool, boil, freeze, melt, float, mix, measure, temperature, and degrees. So listen carefully.
Listening 140. Match the words and the pictures 1 to 10. Listen, check, and say. Heat. 8. Cool. 4. Boil. 7. Freeze. 3. Melt. 6. Float. 5. Mix. 10. Measure. 9. Temperature. 1. Degrees. 2.
Okay, great job. Now, let's go to number 4. Read again and answer the questions. Look at question number 1. What happens to water at 100 degrees? What do you think? Can you find the answer? Yes, great. It boils. And number 2, at what temperature does water freeze? What do you think? Yes, great. At 0 degrees. And what does ice do in water? Do you know the answer? And how can we change the boiling point of water? How can you change the boiling point of water? What do you think? Okay, check your answers. So number 1, water boils at 100 degrees. 2, water freezes at 0 degrees. And number 3, it floats on water. And number 4, add salt to water. Write them, please. Okay, great job, my dear students. Now let's go to your activity book. Page 81. Page 81. Look at the question number 1. Work out the code and write the 10 science words, then decode the message. Look at here, we have a message here, and here you have to write the 10 science words, these words. And this is your homework for the next time. Now look at question number 2. Answer the questions, write sentences with words from activity 1. Look at the question number 1. What can you do with a thermometer? What can you do with a thermometer? And number 2, what happens to water at 100 Celsius? And number 3, what happens to water at 0 Celsius? What do you think? Okay, check your answers, please. You can check the temperature of something. Number 2, water boils at 100 degrees. Number 3, water freezes at 0 degrees. So these are the correct answers. Great job. Let's learn more about adjectives. Adjectives are words that describe or modify another person or thing in the sentence. So adjectives describe nouns. We have so many adjectives. We have long, short, fast, beautiful, slow, etc. But today we're gonna learn how to use past participle as an adjective. Past participles as adjectives. As you know, past participles are verbs either with ed or we change the verb, like play, played, or eat, eaten. So again, the past participle, which is formed using the verb plus ed, or we change the verb, which is irregular verb. And in general, with the past participle, we use an auxiliary verb like has, have, or in the passive sentences, we use was or were, etc. So to use the participle as a verb, we have to put an auxiliary verb. But to use it as an adjective, it modifies a noun. It modifies a noun in the sentence. So let's see more examples in your activity book. Look at number 3 here. We can use the past participle of some verbs as adjectives. Number 1, the water was boiled in a glass beaker. 2, we measured the temperature of the boiled water. What do you think? Here we have boiled and here we have boiled. Which one is the verb and which one is the adjective? Was boiled, and here we have the boiled water. Yes, great. Here it is a verb and here it is an adjective. So in which sentence is the past participle boiled working as a verb? Yes, great. In sentence number 1, and here as an adjective in sentence number 2. Great job. And here, look at this question. Take the sentence where the past participles are working as adjectives. Look at here. We put the cooled water in the freezer. B, we cooled water in the fridge. What do you think? We cooled water in the fridge. We put the cooled water in the freezer. Which one? As an adjective. Yes, great. It is A. And look at number 2. When the water was frozen, we took it out. We measured the temperature of the frozen water. The frozen water. Yes, great. It is B. Here, frozen, it modifies the noun, which is water. And number 3, we measured the temperature that the ice melted. Here, the melted ice turned back to water. What do you think? Yes, great. It is B. The melted ice turned back to water. Okay, good. Good. Okay, our great students, that's all for today. Thanks for watching and listening. See you later.